On May 6, 1937, one of the most famous aircraft in history arrived in New Jersey after crossing the Atlantic. The Hindenburg was enormous, luxurious, and considered one of the greatest achievements of aviation. But within less than a minute, it would be destroyed by fire, killing 36 people and bringing the golden age of passenger airships to a dramatic end. The Hindenburg was built in Germany and entered passenger service in 1936. At approximately 245 meters long, it was one of the largest flying machines ever constructed, longer than 3 Boeing 747s placed nose to tail. Unlike modern airplanes, the Hindenburg was a rigid airship. Its enormous frame contained hydrogen gas cells that provided the lift needed to keep the aircraft in the air. Passengers traveled in remarkable comfort, with private cabins, dining rooms, lounges, and large windows offering spectacular views from thousands of feet above the ground. The Hindenburg was designed to use helium, which is not flammable. However, Germany was unable to obtain enough helium because the United States controlled most of the world's supply and would not export it to Nazi Germany. Instead, the Hindenburg was filled with highly flammable hydrogen. Despite this risk, the airship completed numerous successful flights. On May 3, 1937, the Hindenburg departed Frankfurt, Germany, on its first flight of the season to the United States, carrying passengers and crew across the Atlantic. 3 days later, it arrived at the Naval Air Station in Lakehurst, New Jersey. Strong winds had delayed the landing, and the crew waited for conditions to improve. At around 7:21 in the evening, the Hindenburg was preparing to land. Ground crews were waiting below as the enormous airship hovered above the landing field. Then, without warning, a fire appeared near the rear of the airship. Within seconds, flames raced through the Hindenburg's hydrogen-filled interior. The massive airship dropped toward the ground as its tail collapsed. In roughly 34 seconds, the Hindenburg was completely destroyed. There were 97 people aboard. 35 passengers and crew members died, along with one member of the ground crew. Remarkably, 62 people aboard survived. The disaster was captured on film, while journalist Herbert Morrison's emotional radio commentary brought the event into millions of homes. His shocked reaction helped make the Hindenburg disaster one of the most famous moments in broadcasting history. But what caused the fire? The exact ignition source has never been conclusively established. Several theories have been proposed, including static electricity, a hydrogen leak, and other possible sources of ignition. Although the precise cause remains debated, the disaster demonstrated just how dangerous hydrogen-filled airships could be. The Hindenburg disaster didn't single-handedly end passenger airships. Airplanes were already becoming faster, more reliable, and increasingly capable of crossing oceans. But the disaster destroyed public confidence in airship travel. After 1937, the great passenger Zeppelins disappeared from the skies. The Hindenburg had represented the future of luxury travel, a flying hotel that could cross oceans in comfort. Instead, its final flight became a symbol of how quickly technology can change. The age of the giant passenger airship had lasted only a few decades. But the Hindenburg disaster ensured that the image of a burning airship falling from the sky would remain one of the most unforgettable scenes in aviation history.